G'day folks, it's Cortezerino, and today I'm going to show you how to build my awesome temple base. So not only does this thing look super cool, it has everything you need for a really nice Minecraft base. Everything here serves a function. Even those statues serve a function. Their function is to look super cool. So where do we begin with this tour? I actually think we should start with the most unexpected feature, which is that this base is 100% spawn proof. Look at that, we've got all these beasties spawning out the front here because it's nighttime, but inside the walls and on top of the roofs, there is nothing at all. You are extremely safe within these walls. But let's check out the building. So we have the Grand Temple in the middle, and this is our storage room. So there is tons and tons of storage in here, and this is completely automated. And I'll turn the shaders off so we can see a little bit better. Up here we have a copper golem categorizer item sorter. So we've got 2 copper golems for each section, and they're separated by trapdoors so they never get stuck on each other. And there are trapdoors above the copper chest, so you don't have to listen to them opening and closing that constantly. Only when we get items going to the chest will the trapdoors flick up and these guys will start working. And that is not the only thing we have inside the Grand Temple. If we come up this water stream, you can find a massive villager trading hall. So we have a breeding area for the villagers. So you put them in there, feed them food, and they will breed because we have beds hidden under the carpet. And then we can just let them out and they use their own AI to walk over to each of these sections, and we can start trading with them. And look at this, guys, there is so much room for villagers. And we also have an enchanting table and a grindstone and a few anvils. And this water elevator actually changes when we walk through, so we can come back down again nice and easy. And we'll put the shaders back on because we're going outside. So over here we have just a lovely decorative build, a nice little garden for our temple. But this Torii Gate has more than meets the eye. If we shoot the banner up there, we get a nether portal, and if we shoot it again, we don't have a nether portal. And next to our nether portal, we have our Super Smelter. And isn't this the prettiest Super Smelter you've ever seen? My original design had the iron door so you can AFK in here, but since this place is spawn-proof, you probably don't need that anymore. But we have lots and lots of furnaces here, and this is all rigged up to work nice and easy, but it also has infinite fuel from bamboo planks. So above our heads, we have a huge bamboo farm here with a flying machine. So every time you push the button to start your smelter, this will do a harvest, and all of this bamboo is automatically crafted into planks and sent down to your fuel chest. And over here in the corner of the base, we have an awesome looking bell tower. But once again, there is more than meets the eye to this, because inside the roof, we have an iron farm. So we have a zombie there and our villagers in their beds, and here is the spawning platform for the golems. So every time one dies here, the items will actually drop down through the center of the bell and then get picked up by a hopper minecart, where we have all sorts of trickery going on here to craft it into iron blocks, and then our copper golem goes and delivers them to the chests at the back. And beside that, we have the Creeper Farm Pagoda. So it's exactly what it says on the tin. This is a creeper farm, and it is actually huge. It's a little hard to see in here, but we have our snow golems that will shoot all the creepers that appear up here. So when you're building this base, be very careful to build it in a biome where you can actually have the snow golems. Otherwise, they will melt and you won't get any gunpowder. But we have tons and tons of levels of creeper farm here. You're going to get so much gunpowder. But what are you going to use that gunpowder for? Well, you probably want to craft rockets. So we also have a sugarcane farm below our feet here. We've actually got a couple of sugarcane farms. So all the goodies from that get sent up here into the chests, and you've got a crafting table so you can make all the rockets you want. And finally, hidden over in the corner here is a really nice looking cool gong surrounded by some lanterns. But this, of course, has another function. If we push the buttons, we get beacons, 6 of them in total. And this is a pretty big base, so when you're over this side, you're probably not going to be covered by all of that beacon power. So, of course, we have a second one right here. And look, it even gongs when you hit the button. How cool is that? So I think that is enough of a tour. We need to get started on the tutorial. Now, if you go down to the video description, you will find a materials list containing what you need to build this. But what I'm going to do is actually send you to different tutorials during this one. So I'll send you to a tutorial for that building and for that one. And when you go to those tutorials, they will have their own materials lists. So you'll be collecting lots and lots of goodies from lots and lots of different lists. Alrighty, so we're going to begin by laying out the foundation for our temple base. Now, this will be a little bit tricky to do because of this building here in the front left-hand corner. This needs to be contained within a single chunk, so if you press F3 and G to bring up your chunk borders, you'll see it's completely inside of one chunk. It's not absolutely necessary, but this will be our iron farm, so we want to keep this loaded all the time so it makes us lots of iron. So to make this a little easier, I've put a Lightmatica schematic in the video description so you can download that if you want to, and then you can easily figure out where you're going to place all of your builds, and you'll be able to put this inside of a chunk border. But for those of you who don't use Lightmatica, I will show you how to build all of this. So we're going to begin by marking out the outer wall. And you can do this by placing spruce slabs just on top of the grass. And on the 2 longer walls, I want you to place a dirt block right in the middle so we know where the center is. So place one up the front and another one up the back. And this rectangle will be 69 blocks by 141. So you should end up with 70 spruce slabs each side of that center block. But you'll also have to allow a little bit of room at the back of the build for the grand temple to extend out past the outer wall. And you may have noticed these dirt blocks in the front left-hand corner. So starting nearly from the corner, we want to do 6 dirt blocks on the diagonal. And then if you press F3 and G to bring up your chunk borders, that final block will be right on the edge of the chunk. And that just means we'll be able to put our iron farm directly inside of this chunk. Okay, once you've built all of that, grab smooth stone slabs and come along to the end of these 6 blocks, and starting diagonally from that one, we're going to begin building a square. And this square will be 15 blocks on all 4 sides. And then I want you to look at it from this direction, so our dirt is in the back left-hand corner there. And we're going to skip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slabs. But then we're going to break 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we're just breaking the 5 in the middle. And then you can go ahead and remove those dirt blocks. And now I want you to come to the back of the build where we have the dirt block right in the center over here. What we're going to do is break 23 slabs in each direction. 21, 22, and 23. And once you've broken those 23, we're going to place a dirt block just 1 block out from that slab. So we'll do the same in this direction. And once you've broken those 23, we'll also place another dirt block just 1 block out from there. And you can go ahead and remove that one in the middle. Alrighty, now we're going to start building from these 2 dirt blocks. So toward the center of our temple, we're going to place 12 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And toward the outside of the temple, we're going to place 20. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and 20. And then, of course, come along and do the same thing on this side. And once that's done, all we're going to do is turn this into a rectangle. So build down from that direction, and starting next to the final block here, build in this direction, and we're just going to connect our lines. So when you're done, you should have a rectangle that is 45 blocks by 33. And then I also want you to go ahead and place a torch in all 4 corners of the build, just like that. Okay, now you can come to the front of the build and come along to our dirt block right in the middle. And we're going to break 1, 2, 3, 4 spruce slabs. Then behind this one, we'll do 2 white concrete with a spruce slab behind it. And then diagonally toward the center, we'll do a smooth stone slab. And we'll do the same thing here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then behind here, we'll do 2 white concrete with a spruce slab behind it. And diagonally to the center, a smooth stone slab. Then you can break that dirt in the middle. Now we'll look at it from this side. Starting from the smooth stone, we're going to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we're going to leave a 5 block gap. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll start again. So just make sure there's 5 blocks of gap there. This time we're going to place 20. So we've already got 1, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Once again, we're going to leave a 5 block gap. So 5 grass blocks there. Now we'll place 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And you should finish 3 blocks out from this line of dirt. So just go ahead and build a matching one right here. Okay, looking from the front, I want you to come along to this gap right here. What we're going to do is add 34 more slabs, and we're going to start building from here. So that will be slab number 1, then 2, 3, 4, and just keep going until you've placed 34. And once you've done that, come to the opposite side, and we're going to add another 34. And when you get to the end, you should have a 9 block gap before you reach the slabs right here. So now staying on the right hand side of the build, we're going to come along to the next gap. And this one will be 31 blocks long, so just remember to place number 1 right there, and then go ahead and place the rest. So now we can come to the opposite side, and this time we're only going to place 23 slabs in total. Okay, once that's done, come along to this line of slabs that's on the back left-hand corner, and what we're going to do is skip a block from that slab and place a dirt block, and skip a block from there, place another dirt block, and then we'll just place 5 more dirt in the middle, and then we're going to come out 9 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and on the other end we'll do another 9, so 2, 4, 6, 8, and 9. And then what we're going to do is start building out in this direction, and we're just going to make a square. And this square is 25 blocks long on all 4 sides, and you should have an 8 block gap between the dirt and the line of spruce slabs. Okay, now we're going to turn around and come to the end of this line of slabs, and right on the end we're going to skip a block, then dig up that block, and we'll do the same here. Skip a block, dig up that one, then dig up the 5 in the middle, and then we're going to dig 7 in this direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then looking over here, we're going to dig up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we'll do the same thing on this end. So we'll start with 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then turn around and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that's how you should be looking. Now we're just going to start digging up from here all the way until we connect over there. So we've just made a rectangle. And now this is really simple, just dig up a single level of dirt. Okay, now we're going to build a bridge over this rectangle. So come to the center of your path here, and in line with the center, we're going to place a spruce plank right there with an extra one each side, and then 3 spruce trapdoors on top. Then look from this direction against the middle plank, place an upside down spruce stair, and just beside that, 2 more trapdoors. And we're going to do the same thing up the opposite end. So just in line with this, place 3 more of our planks right there with 3 spruce trapdoors on top. Then on this side, an upside down stair with a spruce trapdoor each side. Then grab spruce slabs and holding shift, place 3 on top there and 3 on top there. and then we're just going to connect them just like that. Now on this side we're going to dig up these 3 blocks and place in 3 spruce planks, and dig up those 3 blocks and place in 3 stone blocks. And then behind this stone we're going to leave a 2 block gap, but then we're going to place 3 more dirt blocks. So there's 2 grass blocks before we place our 3 dirt. And then just behind that middle dirt block, we're going to place a torch right there. Now we're going to build out 10 dirt blocks on each side. So 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. And of course, we'll do the same here. So 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Then starting next to the final dirt, we're going to start building a square. And this square is 23 blocks long on all 4 sides. And you should have a 7 block gap between the dirt and the spruce slabs. Okay, once you've done all of that, come along to these slabs over here, and we're going to start counting from the end. So I want you to place 3 temporary dirt blocks there, and another 3 right there, and then starting from the middle dirt block, we're just going to dig up those 5 blocks, and then place in 5 obsidian. Then on the end here, we're going to dig up another 5 blocks and place in 5 smooth stone. Then you can get rid of those blocks. And we'll do the same here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And place in your smooth stone and get rid of those blocks. Now grab some stone blocks and we're going to dig up these 5 on the end and place stone in there. Now on the right hand side, we'll dig up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can place in your smooth stone. But on the left-hand side, we're going to dig up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And place in your 6 smooth stone. So that is slightly longer than the other side. And now we're just going to start digging in this direction, placing in your smooth stone, and we're going to make another square. And this square is 18 blocks long on all 4 sides. And up the back, you should have a 6 block gap between our slabs and our smooth stone. Okay, now we're going to start adding builds to this foundation. And the first one we're going to do is in the front left-hand corner. So right over here. So down in the video description, click the link to my bell tower iron farm tutorial. And what we've built right here is the very first step for that tutorial. And once that's done, we're going to turn to the rectangle that's all the way up the back here and has a torch in all 4 corners. And I want you to go to the video description and click the link to my grand temple tutorial. And this rectangle is the first step in that tutorial, so go ahead and build it. And this is how you should look when you're finished. So the staircase should line up perfectly with the ends of our slabs right there. Okay, now we will turn to the right and come along to this dirt square behind our bridge and go ahead and click the link to my infinite fuel super smelter. And once again, this square is the first step in that tutorial. Okay, now we can turn around and come along to this square over here. And you can go ahead and click the link to my creeper farm pagoda. And once again, just go ahead and build it. And this is how it'll look when you're finished. So the staircase at the front should line up perfectly with our slabs right here. Now, this is producing gunpowder, but I want to use this to make rockets for our base. So we're actually going to add a sugarcane farm for this so we can make paper and then craft our rockets. So grab some item frames. I'm going to place 2 right there on the chest, but you can put them wherever you want. So there'll be gunpowder in the first 4 chests, but on the final 4, we're going to make sugarcane go into those. And then you can break that block in the floor, put a crafting table so we can make our rockets easily. Then come to the staircase at the front. We're just going to break those 2 stairs and these 3 dirt so we can come underneath and start building our sugarcane farm. Okay, so from our entrance, I want you to look at that hopper on the right-hand side, and we're just going to dig up the block directly below that hopper. We'll dig out 2 blocks toward the front here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 in that direction, and then we'll just turn that into a rectangle and clear out all the earth. Then we're just going to make this rectangle 2 blocks deep. So still looking in the same direction I am, look down into your rectangle and we're going to pick up that block and place a stone brick in the hole. Then you can jump down here and we're going to dig up those 2 blocks. Look in this direction, place a note block there, then hold shift and place an observer. So we're just looking at the note block when we place it. Then you can put a second note block on top of that one. And on this side, dig up that block, place a glass block. Now back to your stone brick, just jump up and place a dropper facing straight up, and then into the side of that we're going to place a hopper. So that's how you should look when you're finished. Okay, now we're going to stand on our dropper and place a comparator on top of the observer block and put it on subtract. Then on the glass block we'll place a redstone dust with a stone brick right there. Then on this side we're going to dig up those 2 blocks, place in some stone bricks. Then looking in this direction, we'll do a repeater, and then we'll do a redstone dust just in front of that. Now we're going to start building a dropper item elevator. So you can stand on your dropper again, look up, and we're going to break that stone block right there. And then if you look toward your note block, we'll break those 2 blocks as well. So we've just made a little gap for ourselves. Now hold shift, jump up, place another dropper. Then still holding shift, look down at your node block, place an observer, then crouch, look in this direction and place another observer. So make sure they are facing in the correct direction. And we'll place a powered rail right there. Then back to your droppers, we'll place 2 this time. So 1, 2, then observer looking down at that rail, then looking in this direction, make sure you get the observer facing sideways with another powered rail. We'll do that again. 2 droppers, observer, then another one on its side, and a powered rail. 2 more droppers. It's getting a little bit repetitive, but we're just doing the same thing. Now I want you to look up at that barrel, and we're just going to place a hopper leading into the side of the barrel. And this is going to get a little bit trickier to place, so I don't think we can stand on top of that anymore because we can't jump up. But we want to place another dropper facing straight up, and on top of that, another one facing straight up so it leads directly into that hopper. And we might have to place some temporary blocks here so we can look down at the rail, place, whoops, it's getting very hard to jump. Place an observer like that so the power outlet's there, and then one on its side, so just make sure it's going toward the dropper. And that's all done, we don't need another rail there. So you can break these temporary blocks. So that's our elevator all done. You can just break a block so we can jump down here and replace it. And now to test that we've done this correctly, just throw an item into that hopper and you can climb up your staircase, and just underneath the sugarcane in this bottom chest, we should find our item. Okay, you can come back underneath. And starting from this corner of our rectangle, we're going to dig up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks. And then we're just going to make that 2 blocks deep. Then grab some hoppers and we'll place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now on the right hand side, starting from the final hopper, we're going to dig up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we'll dig up another 7 just in front of those. And on the left-hand side, we're going to dig up 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we'll make that 2 blocks wide. And then go ahead and make these 2 blocks deep. And once that's done, you can jump down in your hole. And we're just going to make a line of hoppers going all the way along like this. So just hold shift and make sure they're all running into one another. And on the other side, go ahead and do the same thing. Okay, so we're going to build a sugarcane farm here, and 1 is probably enough, but maybe you want lots and lots of sugarcane, so if you want to, we can build a matching one on this side, and it's pretty easy to do. We're just going to connect to the same hopper over there. So just come to the back, and starting just underneath the end of that hopper, we're going to dig out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks. And then go ahead and make that 2 blocks deep. And we'll connect 7 hoppers here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'll have to jump up to place number 7. And then we're just going to dig this out to match the one in front. So just dig it out to the same distance. And of course, go ahead and place your hoppers in as well. It's probably not necessary to have 2 of these, but go ahead and build 2 if you want to. And just make sure for this sugarcane farm at the back that you have a 3-block gap of grass blocks there. Otherwise, you will run out of room. And we can also place some composters to cut down on lag. So we're just going to run them all the way along except for the last hopper there. And we're going to do the same over here. So just run the composters along except for that very last one. And both of these sugarcane farms are the same. So what I built here, copy to the other one, if you're building it, that is. So the first thing we're going to do is on the end, we're going to dig up those 4 blocks and place in 4 stone bricks. And then we're going to dig up this line all the way to the end. And on the end, we can place another 4 stone bricks. I'll just move that torch for the moment so we can still see, but then we can go ahead and dig up all of these blocks as well. I'll move that torch and dig up those like that. Now we're going to start placing in some proper light blocks. So we can begin with a sea lantern right there and another one right there. So it's just diagonally from these bricks on the end. Then what we're going to do is dig up 1, 2, 3 blocks, place in 3 bricks with a sea lantern. Then 1, 2 bricks. We've got the composter there, so that will count as number 3. Then we'll do a sea lantern, so you can see we're just leaving a 3-block gap between our lanterns. So 3 bricks and a lantern, 3 bricks and a lantern. And we won't need those torches at all anymore because we're getting lots and lots of light from our lanterns. So just do the same on this side. 3 bricks and a lantern, 3 bricks and a lantern. Just like that. Okay, now we're going to dig up these dirt blocks and place bricks underneath. This isn't really necessary, but we're going to be placing water here. And it's a good idea if you're ever digging underneath later on, just to have some bricks there so you know not to break these blocks and get flooded by water later. So just fill all of that in. Then above our hoppers here, we're going to do 2 lines of mud. So these aren't full blocks, so the hoppers will be able to pick up any items that drop onto there. And then once you've done that, just each side of our mud, we're going to place a line of water. So do it all the way along there and all the way along this side. And now we're going to build on top of our water. So what I built here, copy to that side as well. So we're going to begin with a line of glass blocks all the way across the top of our water. And then we're going to place pistons on top of those and make sure these are pointing toward our mud. Then come around the back of the pistons. We're going to place an observer block on the first one, then 3 stone bricks and another observer. You can place observers every block, but it's not necessary, and this saves on materials. Then you can grab your stone bricks again, and we're going to place them behind our pistons. And then we're just going to place a piece of redstone dust on top of each of these blocks. And once you've built that on both sides, go ahead and plant all of your sugarcane on top of the mud. When you get to the end, place 6 glass blocks all the way across the end, and we'll do the exact same thing on this end. And that is the sugarcane farm all done. So we can now leave this area and we'll just replace the dirt blocks there and the 2 stairs. Now I want you to come over to where we put the obsidian in the ground, and you can go down to the video description and click the link to my on-off Torii Gate tutorial, and just make sure when you build it right here that the front of the Torii Gate is facing us. And that's how it'll look when you're finished. If you're playing on a server, you might want to keep this Torii Gate lit the entire time, because if someone comes to visit you and you have it turned off, then a portal may just appear anywhere in your base, and you wouldn't want that. But for single player worlds, you can turn this on and off whenever you like. So now what we're going to do is just dig up these grass blocks right here, and then once you've done that, go ahead and fill this little area in with stone. And now I'm going to send you to another tutorial for my yin yang garden, which we're going to build in this square right here. But before you run off and do that, you actually have a whole bunch of options. So the link in the video description will send you to the tutorial for this garden right here, which looks really cool. But I have a bunch of different gardens that you could actually build in this spot because they are all the same size. And I think we'll turn the shaders on for this because they are super pretty. So here's the garden that I've got linked in the tutorial. But there is a playlist on my channel for lots and lots of different gardens. And you can see they all fit within the exact same size square. So you can peruse that playlist and pick any one of these you like. If there's one you really prefer, then you can go ahead and build that. And that playlist is called the Chunk Builds playlist. So go ahead and pick whichever garden you want to build, or you can just click the link in the video description and build this one. So once that's done, I want you to come along to the front gate, and just next to the first white concrete, we're going to place 4 stripped acacia logs, and we'll do the same thing on this side. Then on the left-hand side, we're going to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 acacia planks just next to it. Then against the top plank, we'll do a sideways facing stripped acacia log. Then for the right-hand side, these blocks won't be visible, so we'll do 5 dirt blocks, and then our sideways facing log. Then you can grab some dirt blocks, and looking from the inside of the build, against the stripped acacia, we're going to place 5 dirt there, and 5 dirt there. And then on the outside of the build against the stripped acacia logs, we're going to place 5 of these red sandstone walls. And then from what I build right here, it's going to be the same on both sides. So next to our dirt, we're going to place 6 stripped acacia logs. Then next to the walls, we're going to place another 6 with 3 across the top, just like that. Then 2 up there with an acacia plank each side. So go ahead and build that on this side as well. And then you can come to the inside of our gate, and each side of these acacia planks, we're going to place 5 stripped acacia logs, so we're building it up to the same height. They will have dirt blocks on top and then a sideways facing stripped acacia log. Then look at this dirt pillar, and we're going to do the same thing. So build the logs up to the same height as the dirt, then dirt blocks on top, and a sideways facing acacia log. Then on the outside of the building, looking in, grab some acacia shelves, and we're going to place 5 against those logs, and another 5 right there. And then come to the inside of the build, looking out. Down the bottom, we're going to place an acacia stair this time, but then above that, we're going to place 4 of our acacia shelves, just like that. Okay, you can climb up the top, and just against the top of that sideways facing acacia log, we're going to place 5 acacia slabs, and then each side of that we're going to place 5 stripped acacia logs. Then stand on your slabs, and with levers we're going to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you can go ahead and power all of these. Then turn around, and we're going to do the same thing. So start on the dirt and run them all the way over to the other dirt. Now we're going to place some acacia shelves, and you want to place them in this pattern. So we'll do 3 in the middle first, then you can do those 2 and these 2, so we get a nice pattern in our shelves like that. So we'll do the same on this side. So place the 3 in the front first, and then you can go ahead and place all of the others. Then grab some dirt blocks, and we're going to place 7 all the way along here with another 7 just on top. Okay, what I build on this side of the gate, I want you to copy the same thing to the opposite side. So grab some blackstone brick stairs, and we're going to place 2 upside down just against the top of that log. And then against the top half of that stair, we're going to place blackstone brick slabs all the way along. Then back to your blackstone stairs, we'll place 1, 2, just like that. Then we're going to skip a block, place 1 on top of the shelf, and another one there. And we're just going to continue leaving a 1 block gap, just like that. Then grab some deep slate brick slabs, and we're going to place 1 there, with another one poking out toward the end. and then we'll run these all the way along with an extra one poking out toward the end. Then with deep slate tiles, we're going to place one against the side of that stair and another one against that stair. Then we're going to plug up these gaps with our deep slate tile blocks. When we get to the end, just place one against each stair. And then against the bottom of these blocks that we just placed, we're going to place a deep slate tile slab. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And once you've built that on each side, against the top half of this acacia log, we're going to place a deep slate tile slab. Then looking away from our gate, on top of that slab, we'll do a deep slate brick stair. So we'll do the same on this side. So slab, and then a deep slate brick stair like that. Then with deep slate brick slabs, we're just going to run these all the way across the top. Okay, come to the outside of our gate, and just behind these shelves, we're looking at this stripped acacia log. So we're going to place 2 polished basalt against it there, skip a block to another 2, then another 2, and on the ends of these logs, we're going to place an acacia trapdoor against the top half and flick them down, and that one's powered, so it'll flick down all by itself. Then look to the right hand side, and against the dirt, we're going to do the same thing. So place in our polished basalt, and we're going to place our trapdoors just on the ends of those. Then grab stripped acacia logs, we're going to place 2 like that, and 2 like that. And then we're going to place a lever just on the inside of them here and power those. And we'll do the same here, so power those with 2 levers. Then you can grab your acacia trapdoors again and place them against the bottom of those logs, and they will flick up all by themselves, and we'll do the same right there. And then I want you to hold shift, and against the lever we're going to place an acacia shelf with another one right beside it, and we'll do the same there. And of course we'll do the same thing on that door. Then grab acacia fences, and against the middle polished basalt, we're just going to place 2 fences there to make handles for our gates. We will also place a fence underneath those upside down stairs, and we can hang a lantern. So then you can come to the opposite side and do the same thing. So we'll do our fence and lantern just underneath our stairs. Then holding shift, we'll do our shelves against the levers and the stripped acacia logs, just like that, and then put in your 2 door handles. Alrighty, we're going to leave our gate and come along to our grand temple, and we're looking at where the spruce slabs join up to the temple. So what I build on this side, copy the exact same thing to the other side where these slabs connect. So what we want to do is on the side of the build that is inside of our compound, right where the slabs connect, we're going to place a stripped acacia log there with another one right beside it, and these are going to be 4 blocks tall, so 2, 3, and 4. Then you can look over to this red sandstone wall that's in line with these logs. Just go ahead and completely remove that. Then staying in line with these 2 logs, we'll do 2 white concrete there with 2 more stripped acacia logs facing straight up. And then across the top of this, we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stripped acacia logs. And we'll do another 5 right there. So we've just connected it to the building. And then we can look down here. We're going to remove those 2 stairs, place in 2 white concrete with 2 stripped acacia logs lying on their side just above it. Then we can place 2 more white concrete on top, and we'll remove those 2 stairs and do another 2. And then we're just going to plug up the gap with 4 white concrete. So that is all we're building. Go ahead, build the exact same thing on the other side. And once you've built that on both sides, grab deep slate brick slabs, and we're going to place 5 against the top half of that log. And we're going to place grey carpet on top of all of those. And we'll do the same thing on this side. So 5 slabs with our 5 grey carpet. And then we're just going to place 5 deep slate tile stairs, just like that. And of course, we'll do the same on that side. And once you've built that on each side of the grand temple, come along to the corner of our spruce slabs, and what I built here, copy to the other 3 corners. So starting next to the slabs, we'll place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stripped acacia logs, and then continuing to build this next to the slabs, we're going to do 2 white concrete each side, then 2 stripped acacia logs. On top of these, we're going to do 4 white concrete each side, then 3 stripped acacia logs, and on the ends, we're just going to build a pillar of 4, just like that, until we connect. Then, staying on the inside here, we're going to place 5 dirt blocks right in the corner, and then we're just going to copy what's on each side. So next to those stripped acacia logs, we'll do 2 more. Next to the white concrete, we'll do 2 there, with an extra one down the bottom. Then a stripped acacia log on its side, and then we'll just build up 4 there, and another 4, just like that. Then grab some deep slate brick slabs. We're going to place 3 in this corner with grey carpet on top. Then come to the outside, and we're going to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And of course, they will all have our carpet on top. Then grab your deep slate tile stairs. We're going to place them along like this. When you get to the corner, just turn so you look like that. Then come to the inside, and we're going to place stairs back to back with those ones. So that's how to do our corner. Go ahead and build that in the other 3. Okay, now you can come back to our front gate, and we're going to build against the 2 white concrete that we have on each side. So what I build on one side, copy the exact same thing to the other side. So just above our concrete, we're going to do 2 stripped acacia logs lying on their side. Then we'll do 4 white concrete above that. Then 1, 2, 3, 4 more stripped acacia logs. And then we're just going to build up with 4 logs there and another 4 logs right there. So then next to this, we're going to build all the way along to the corner, just repeating this pattern. So we're going to do 4 white concrete and then 2 logs facing straight up, and just keep doing this over and over. And you should connect to the corner, finishing with our 4 white concrete. So then to turn the corner, it's really simple. Come to the other side, place in your 4 white concrete, then your 2 stripped acacia logs, and just keep going. And I want you to go all the way along until you connect to the grand temple just over there. And this is how you should look when you're finished with these running all the way around. So now starting over at our grand temple, we're going to repeat the same pattern over and over. So we're going to skip these first 2 logs, but on the next 2, we're going to build up 1, 2, 3 stripped acacia and another 3 right there. Then we'll do 2 lying on their side, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then in the middle we're going to place 8 white concrete, and then we'll just keep repeating that. So we'll skip the first 2 logs, but then we'll go ahead and build up 3 blocks tall, and another 3, so we're just making a bit of an H shape with our stripped acacia logs, and then place in your 8 white concrete. So just keep doing that over and over, making sure to leave these gaps because we're going to put windows in there. And this is how you should look when you finish. So each side of our corner, we should have a window. And then when you reach the front gate, you should have a window right next to the gate as well. So now what we're going to do is against these logs right up the top, we're just going to continue these logs all the way around until we reach the corners. So we're just running these logs all the way across the top of our wall, and of course continue that all the way around the build. And once you've done that, come to the bottom of our window here, and we're just going to place 5 stripped acacia logs there, and another 5 like that. So continue to do that all the way around. Okay, once you've done all of that, come to the outside of our temple, and we're going to start building the window. So this is just for the outside. So next to this log here, we're going to place 2 white concrete, and we'll do 2 on that side as well. Then grab waxed copper trapdoors, place 2 right there, and 2 right there. And then we're going to place a glow lichen just on the log between those trapdoors. That's very important for our spawn proofing. It'll stop mobs from spawning up here. You don't want a creeper up here when you get close to the wall because he will blow you up. So just go ahead and do that for each window. And once you've done all of those, come to the inside of our wall, and just in front of this window, we're going to place 6 bamboo trapdoors. So hold shift to place those, and then go ahead and flick them all down. And then looking from the side, hold shift and we'll place 2 waxed copper trapdoors there and flick them down. And we'll do the same just on that side. So that's how to do our windows. Go ahead and do the same for each of these. And once that's done, we're just going to put a roof on all of this. And we've already got the roof started right here next to our temple. So we're just going to continue with our deep slate brick slabs with the carpet on top. So you probably don't need me to show you this because you've already got an example right here. And just continue with your stairs like this. And just keep going with that all the way around until you connect to the gate up the front. Alrighty, once your roof is finished, I want you to come over to your Torii Gate nether portal. And just on this side of it, starting next to the stripped acacia logs, we're going to place smooth stone slabs all the way along until we connect to the wall, and then place an extra one in the middle there, and you can throw in some random grass right there as well. Then with flowering azalea leaves, we're going to place 1 right there, then 2 regular azalea leaves, a flowering, a regular, and then 2 flowering. Then come to the other side of our portal, and we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to run our 2 lines of slabs until we connect right here. Place another one right there. And then with flowering azalea leaves, we'll do 2, then a regular, then 1, 2 regular, and 2 flowering. And now we're going to come to the inside here where our garden is. And starting next to the final slab there, we're just going to run our slabs all the way down in a straight line until we connect to the wall, and then we're going to turn a corner like that, and you can place in a bit more random grass. But basically we're just going to keep tracing the outside of our wall just like this all the way around this garden, and we're going to finish when we connect to the slabs that we just placed a moment ago, just like that. And staying in the same spot next to our portal, we're going to continue tracing the wall with slabs, but this time we're using spruce slabs, so go all the way until we connect to the gate at the front, and then come to the other side of the gate, and we're going to continue the slabs just before the middle of the 4th window. So that's 1 window, 2 windows, 3 windows, and here's the 4th window, so we're going to stop just before the middle. And you can switch to smooth stone slabs and place 3 right there. And then if you build down from these slabs, you should connect to right here where the slabs finish. And we're going to do another little flowering garden. So just do 1 flowering azalea leaf, then 3 in the middle, another one there, and then 2 regular azalea leaves. And we're going to build one of these on this side of the path as well. So starting right here, we're going to build with our smooth stone slabs until we connect, and then we'll do another line right there with 1 in the middle. Then grab regular azalea leaves, we'll place 1 on each end and 1 in the middle, and you can fill up the rest with our flowering leaves, and we'll do a random grass right there. Then with your smooth stone slabs, just build all the way down here next to this building, so that is our pagoda. And just keep going in a straight line until we connect to the wall. And then we're going to come along to the next corner right here. When you turn the corner, you can also throw in a bit of random grass. And then just continue with your smooth stone slabs until we connect right over there. So we've just made a little border around our bell tower. And we're going to need a bit more light in this area. So in each corner of this rectangle we just made, what I want you to do is dig up the grass block, place a chiseled stone brick with a stone brick wall on top, and then a lantern. So just go ahead and do that in all 4 corners. And once you have these 4 lanterns in place, come to this back wall over here just behind our pagoda and find the window in the middle. So that's the 4th window along. Each side of this we're going to do an acacia fence and hang a lantern. This is some necessary spawn proofing because there's not enough light down here. And then what we're going to do is just against our wall, we're going to continue our line of slabs, and we're using spruce slabs again. So just keep going until we connect to the grand temple. So once you get to the Grand Temple, we're just going to swing past all of this and start our slabs again on the other side. And keep going with your slabs until we connect right here over near our garden. And you can see it's very dark over here behind our smelter, so we're going to need some extra lights. So find the middle window, that's the fourth window along, and we're going to do what we did before. We'll do our 2 acacia fences and 2 lanterns. Okay, now we're going to come over to our bridge, and just next to these spruce planks right here, we're going to dig up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blocks. And then I want you to place a stone block right there, then we'll do a cobblestone block, and then a stone brick, then we'll do 2 stone, 2 stone bricks, a stone, and a stone brick. Then on the other side of our planks, we're going to dig up these 9 blocks as well, and then we're going to place 2 stone there, then 2 bricks, a stone, and a brick, then 2 stone, and a brick right there. Now starting just next to the planks right there, so on those blocks, we're going to place a red sandstone wall. We'll place another one on the end, and then another one on that grass block. We'll place some iron bars between them, and then place iron bars all the way along here. And then we're just going to do lanterns on the front too. And we'll do the same over here. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 iron bars. Then a red sandstone wall, another there, connect it with iron bars, and then you can just place your 2 lanterns on the front. And then we're going to come to this side of the bridge, and just in front of the bridge we'll dig up those blocks. We'll place a spruce plank there, then a spruce trapdoor, and then a stripped spruce log. Now each side of this we're going to dig up a block. We'll do a stone brick there, and a mossy stone brick there. Both of those will have red sandstone walls with lanterns on top. And then each side of our bridge, we're going to place some fence gates. So just place them all the way along like that to connect our walls. And of course, we'll do the same thing on this side. Okay, now we're going to start next to this lantern on the left. We're going to dig up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks. Then we're going to put some brown concrete powder there with a red sandstone wall and a lantern on top, and then we're just going to fill in those blocks with coarse dirt. Now grab flowering azalea, we'll place 2 right there, then another 3, and then we're just going to place 2 regular azalea. And then starting next to the lantern on the right, we're going to dig up another 8 blocks, so just dig up all of those. The final one, we'll do our brown concrete powder with our wall and lantern, and then we'll place our coarse dirt in there. Now grab flowering azalea, we'll place them all the way along except for the second last one, we'll do an azalea. Okay, we're going to leave that for the moment and come along to our bell tower iron farm. And just looking from this direction, we're going to continue this line, but we're going to dig up the blocks all the way along there and then place in some smooth stone blocks. And we'll do the same thing on this side. So continuing this line of slabs, we're going to dig up the blocks all the way along till we connect and place in our smooth stone. And then from here, we're just going to dig up, whoops, I shouldn't have dug up that block. We're just going to dig up a ring around our build here and just place in your smooth stone as you go. Keep going all the way around until you connect on this side. And once you've placed those all the way around, starting just from the front entrance of our bell tower, we're going to start digging up these 2 lines of blocks. So we're going to dig these up all the way through our paths, just against the edge of our paths here. So everywhere where you've got a path like this with grass on the inside, we're just going to dig these 2 trenches all the way along. And then we're going to place some hidden lighting in the trenches. Now, if you never ever play in shaders, then what I suggest is you just place your sea lanterns there with light grey carpet on top, and that's going to light up our entire base. But if you're like me and you do like to play in shaders, I think it actually looks better if we dig out a double layer of blocks, place your sea lanterns there, and then just grab a junk leaf block. So I'm using acacia leaves, but it could be any leaf block you like because we're never going to see it. and then place your carpet on top like that. And I'll turn my shaders on and show you why. And this will probably also depend on what shaders you use. So here is the side where I have the sea lanterns buried extra low with the leaf block on top. And you don't really see anything. It's providing light without being noticeable. But the other side, I don't know. It just kind of looks a bit bright and weird. So I think having the light grey carpet, at least for my shaders directly on top of the sea lanterns, is a bit much. But it depends on what you're doing. It's a lot quicker to just place them on top of the sea lanterns. But if you use shaders like me and you prefer this, then bury them a little bit lower. And so we're going to do this everywhere within our paths. So at the front gate, it'll finish just next to those acacia stairs. Then you'll go all the way to the Tory gate and finish right there. And you'll also do these paths as well. So this is pretty easy. You just stop when you reach the staircases. And over here, you can stop when you reach those 2 lanterns. And make sure you place your sea lanterns every single block, because otherwise you're not going to have enough light to stop mobs from spawning in here. So now I want you to come over to the front gate, and starting right here, we're going to dig up all these blocks, and then we're just going to fill all of this in with stone, and go ahead and do this for all of our paths throughout the base. And that's how you should look when you're finished. So you could texture the paths if you wanted to, but we're going to be texturing all the ground out here. And if you texture the paths as well, I think it looks a little bit odd. Stone looks perfectly fine, I think. So now we're going to turn toward our pagoda, and I want you to come to the left-hand side of it, and starting next to the second smooth slab, we're going to break 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks just like that. And then we're going to come forward 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're just going to turn this into a rectangle. And once you've dug up all of those blocks, go ahead and fill this in with stone. And once that's done, we're going to come to the other side of the pagoda. And starting right in the corner, we're going to dig up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then come forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we will just break all of those. So we've made a 5 by 7 rectangle, and then just go ahead and fill it in with stone. And you could actually fill this in with netherrack if you wanted to, because none of this is going to be visible. It's just marking out where we're going to build something later. So now I want you to swing around to this side of the pagoda, and starting next to the corner, we'll do 2 stone brick slabs, and then come all the way to the other corner, and we're going to do another 2, and then just in between these slabs, we're going to dig out these 2 blocks. So keep going all the way along until we reach those first 2 slabs that we placed. Then on the front, we're going to place a line of sea lanterns all the way along. And then you can place a line of stone brick slabs just on top of all of our lanterns. Then in this hole right here, grab azalea leaves, and we're just going to do a line of them all the way along like this. So we've got some light shining out, but we can't actually see the light. And then on top of these, we're just going to do a random mixture of azalea and flowering azalea leaves. And once you've done that, we're going to come back over toward our bridge over here, and we're going to mark out some more spots in the ground. So starting diagonally back from that brown concrete powder, we're going to break 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks and place a line of stone in there. And then we're going to come across 4 blocks, so dig out another 4. And then we're just going to turn this into a rectangle. And of course, fill all of this in with stone. So this rectangle is going to be 5 blocks by 8 blocks. So it is 1 block longer than the other 2 rectangles we did. And once you've done that, come to the other side of our pond, and we're going to build a matching one. So we're going to dig up our 8 blocks there, place in the stone, and then come across 4 blocks. And once you've dug all this out, go ahead and fill it in with stone. And once that's done, I want you to come to the back left-hand corner, and on top of that grass, just place a stone brick slab right there. And we're going to continue building these all the way down the side of the building. And when you get to the very edge of the foundation, just connect it like that. And we'll come back to that area later. So now I want you to grab a mixture of stairs and we're just going to surround our pond. So starting right here, we're going to do a mixture of stone stairs, cobblestone stairs, and stone brick stairs. So just go ahead and place these in randomly. And this is how you should look when you're done, with your stairs wrapping all the way around on this side and the same on this side. So if you want to copy exactly what I've done, you can just pause the video and copy those in if you want to. And then I want you to grab a water bucket and just make sure to waterlog all of these stairs. And we're just going to fill in our entire pond. So make sure to do it under the bridge as well and on both sides. And now you can go to the video description and click the link for my samurai statue tutorial. And we're going to build 4 statues in total. So the first 2 statues in the tutorial, you can build those 2 on top of these 2 rectangles. And the tutorial's set up so you're building those first 2 at the same time. So when you're done, this is how you should be looking with your 2 awesome statues just in front of the pagoda. And then you can come back over to our pond. And on top of that stone platform and that stone platform, you can build the other 2 statues in the tutorial. And this is how those will look when you're done. So these ones have their swords facing up, whereas the other ones over near the pagoda have their swords facing down. Alrighty, come over to the bridge, and just behind this statue, we're going to come down here and dig up these 3 blocks and place in brown concrete with azalea leaves on top. Then we're going to go an azalea leaf, 2 flowering azalea leaves, and then azalea leaves all the way along. We will put a lilac there, then a peony, then 4 lilacs, and another peony. And behind the other iron bars, we're going to do 2 flowering azalea, then 2 regular, a flowering, 2 regular, and we'll place another one there. Then we'll do a peony, 3 lilacs, another peony, and 2 lilacs. Okay, now we're going to come around and look at it from this side. Right on the corner of our build, we'll dig up that block and put an azalea leaf, and another one right there. Then here we're going to dig down 2, we'll do a sea lantern, put any junk leaf block, I'm putting an acacia leaf, and then a moss carpet on top. Then you can dig up these 5 blocks, we'll put in 2 coarse dirt and 3 podzol. And we will skip a block and place a grass. Then another one, we'll dig up that block, place an azalea leaf. Then here we'll dig up 2, do a sea lantern, an acacia leaf, and some moss carpet. And then behind that we'll do 2 more azalea leaves. We'll dig up that block, do another, and another right there. And then we're going to skip 2 blocks, then dig up that one, do an azalea leaf. Then right in the corner we'll dig up 2. We'll do a sea lantern, acacia leaf, and moss carpet. And diagonally down from both of those, we'll place some grass. Now right here, I want you to place 3 scaffolding. You can climb to the top, place a bit of string up there, and then break all your scaffolding. And where it was, just plant some bamboo, and you can let that grow if you want, but I'm going to bone meal mine. And we're going to do this a bunch more times. So I want you to place scaffolding everywhere where you can see it here. And this is how many scaffolding tall to make it. So the one on the end here, number 8, so that's 8 scaffolding tall. So once you've built all of those up, go ahead and place your string on top. And then we're going to do what we did before. Just break your scaffolding, plant the bamboo, and let it grow. And then you can come all the way to this side and place the scaffolding where I've placed mine. This one's going to be 3 blocks tall, so we've already got 1. We'll go 2, 3. This one's 4 blocks tall, so I'll add 3 more. And this one is 6, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then, of course, just go ahead, place your string, and then your bamboo. Okay, you can come over to your podzol. We'll place a stone button there, then 3 pink petals. Look to the side, we'll do another one there, and then another one just behind the coarse dirt. Then put your back to the wall, we'll do 2 pink petals and another one. And now we're going to build a tree, and I've turned off my bushy leaves just so the leaf blocks are a bit easier to see. So just in front of the button, we're going to place 2 nether brick fences with a cherry leaf against the top one. Then jump up a bit higher, we'll do another nether brick fence. Then from the back, we're going to build a bit of a horseshoe just around that fence. So we're going to place 5 leaves like that. Then you can put another fence on top. We'll do 2 more leaves there. And then around this side, we'll put a leaf on the front and another one there. And on top of our fence, we'll place 1, 2, 3 cherry leaves. Against the first one we placed, we'll do one there and an extra one on each side. And then swing around the back, and on the one second from the top, just place another cherry leaf. And that's our tree all done. So now I want you to face this wall over here and find the window in the middle. So there are 5 windows. This is the middle one. Just coming out from this log, we're going to skip 2 grass blocks, but then place a dirt block. And in front of this log, do the same thing. And then we're going to place 5 stripped mangrove logs in between. Then I want you to come over to the same spot on the other side of our grand temple. So find the middle window, which is this one here. And we're going to do the same thing. So skip 2 blocks and place your dirt with the 5 stripped mangrove. And now I'm going to send you to my beacon gong tutorial. And this is the first step in that tutorial. So go ahead and build 2 of our gongs. And in the tutorial, you get an option to build a short one or a tall one. You can pick whatever you want, but I built the tall one. And this is how it'll look when you're finished. So you can press the button and we get our beacons. So now I want you to dig up every visible piece of grass just in a single layer. Now, there's a few things to note before you start doing that. So over here where our garden is, for the grass, just in this area here, don't dig that up. So keep that as grass, but we'll be digging it up on this side. And then the other piece to keep as grass is over here near our bell tower. So just in this little rectangle, keep that as grass as well. But everything else we're going to dig up. Now, the other thing to note is, as you're digging it up, the grass will spread to the dirt down below. So what I want you to do is dig up the whole area as quickly as you can, and then come along to all the bits of grass that have spread down here and dig those up and make them dirt. So we don't want any grass visible at all, because later on we'll be placing dirt here. And if there's grass down there, then this will turn to grass and it will look terrible. And this is how you should look when you're done, with no visible grass in there at all. But we still have our grass over there and over there in that corner. And also make sure to dig all the way around here and behind our buildings. And if you do have a spot where the grass is happening to spread just down to here, what you can do is just place stone blocks in there to stop the grass from spreading. Okay, now we're going to start texturing the ground out here. And I'm not going to show you block for block. I'm just going to give you a bit of an overhead view. And you can roughly copy what I've done. It doesn't have to be exact. So the first block we are going to place is brown concrete. And here's the overhead view, but I will zoom in a little bit more so it's easier to see. So at the front left, this is where I want you to place your brown concrete. And if we swing around to the side, you can place a bit more there and a little bit more in this corner and nothing up there. And then on the right-hand side of our gate, this is how we've done it. So there's a little bit behind the statue. There's a little bit more in front of the grand temple and some just around here. And if we turn the corner, we've got some in that corner and we also have a little bit up there. And now we're going to place brown wool, and most of this will go just around the brown concrete we just placed. So we'll begin on the left-hand side of our gate. This is where I've placed it all, so just pause the video where you need to, and you can copy this in. And I think there's also just a little bit down here. And then on the right-hand side of our gate, this is where I've placed it. And remember, yours doesn't have to be exactly the same. You can just do a rough estimation of what I've done. And we'll see Yes, there's a little bit out here as well. And around this, we're going to place some brown concrete powder. So once again, starting on the left-hand side of our gate, this is where you want to place it all. So pause the video as you need to, and then we'll come down here, and I've just got a few little pieces up the back. And here is the right-hand side of our temple base. So just go ahead and place these in where you need to. I think it goes around the back of the gong here a little bit. It doesn't go too far. And then this is a bit of an odd design, but we continue it all the way up here. And now we're going to place just regular dirt blocks. And this is why we got rid of all our grass before, so this wouldn't turn into grass. So I'll give you the overhead view. And just like before, we're starting on the left-hand side of our gate. So just go ahead and fill this in as you need to. Whoops, I'm crashing into the building here. That's no good. So the dirt goes all the way around the back of the gong. And then out here, this is how it looks. And now we're on the right-hand side of our front gate. So you probably understand the pattern of how I'm placing this now, so you might not need these overhead views anymore. But we'll continue, and you can just go ahead and place the rest of these in. So this side is nearly finished. And now we're going to place some jungle planks. And this is going to be different. So we're breaking from the pattern we did before. This time, I just want you to randomly place a bunch of them just around the center. So this is sort of going to be a bit of a highlight. So we're not putting it around the outside this time. So just place them sort of wherever you like, but I'll give you the overhead view again. This will be a little bit tricky for you to copy exactly, but there is really no need for you to copy this exactly the same way because I've just done it pretty randomly, so there's nothing up there. And here is the right-hand side of our front gate. So just throw these in however you like. We've got a few up here near the gong, but there's probably nothing up there as well. And the rest is super simple, guys. We're just going to go ahead and fill in the rest with rooted dirt. And this is how you should look when you're finished. So now I want you to come over to your beacon gong. And what I build next to this one, copy the same thing next to the other one. So starting from the side of our gong, we're going to count 11 blocks. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And just leave the 11th dirt block there. It's just a temporary block. And then we'll do the same here. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. And we'll get rid of the rest. So now what I build on this one, copy the same thing on top of that dirt block there. So we'll put an ochre frog light on top. And then we're going to surround it with mangrove trapdoors. And then we'll surround the dirt block with mangrove fences. And before you place the last one, just go ahead and break the dirt block. Then in each corner, we're going to place 2 more fences. So we're just building straight up. We're just making a cool lantern here. Then grab a waxed copper chain, place it in the middle. And against the chain, we're going to place 4 mangrove fences. So just do 1 on each side like that. Then on top of the chain, we're going to do a deep slate brick. And each side of the deep slate brick, we're going to do deep slate brick stairs. Then in between our stairs, we'll do deep slate brick slabs. And we'll finish with a deep slate brick slab on top. So go ahead and build both lanterns on each side of each of our gongs. And that should be the last little bit of spawn proofing. So your entire base should be spawn proof. Except for one glaring problem. The mobs can just walk straight in through the front gate. So we are going to fix this right now. So I want you to dig up that block, that one, and that one. And then just come to the edge and dig down as far as you can go. And to stop mobs spawning in there, I'm just going to place a torch in each of those holes. Then we'll place acacia buttons like that. And I'm going to grab moss carpet and just hold shift to place it on top of the buttons so the mobs won't want to cross this. They'll think they're going to drop to their deaths. Although if you've got a big group of mobs here, one could push one over. So that'd be no good. And I'm using moss carpet because I got grass out here, but if you continue with a stone path, then just use light grey carpet. And if you want to double check that you have spawn proofed all of the ground out here, then what you can do, at least on Java Edition, is press F3 and F6 together, and it brings up this screen. And I just want you to scroll down until you get to this debug renderers section. And we're looking at visualize block light levels. Just click that to always and then done. And you can see we've got all these crazy numbers everywhere. So don't worry about the ones in the air, but just look at the ones on the ground, and that shows you the light levels. So you'd be looking for any block that does not have a number on top of it, because if there's no number, that means the light level is 0. You can see here we get very close. We get to 1, but then there's always a number, so we're all good. And you shouldn't have anything spawn up here because we put in the glow icon earlier. So that's just something you can do. Maybe if you do get a mob spawn, you can click this on and run around and find the problem so that it won't say 0. It'll just be a block with no number there at all. And of course, to turn all this off, press F3 and F6 together. Come down to where we were before and it's in red. Just click that to off. And that is it. That is your temple base, 100% complete. This is super duper cool, guys. It has nearly everything you need for a perfect base. And the good thing about this is it is easily expandable. So you know how to build the walls now. If you want to build another section, you can go ahead and do that. Maybe put in a few more of my Japanese builds or a few more of those chunk build gardens if you like. Anyway, have fun with your new base, and I'll see you next time.